Welcome to Inspirations, a podcast where we discuss everything relevant to the Christian life. Now here is your host, Jay Spurlock.
Blank got the best of me. We all know that usually we can name those people that get the best of us, we feel like. Be a ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, ex-wife, ex-husband, ex-spouse, a long-distance relationship, maybe someone that we didn't date long, but we put everything into it. And it feels like, we were just up and one day it was gone. Often when we go through heartbreak, and I'm speaking from my heart myself, it was broken a few years ago. I went through a horrific divorce. But out of that, this is all based on a country music song that I really like. And ever since I've heard it, I've been wanting to do this episode because, one, I love the song. But two, it stands for everything that our culture and most of our society would say is the truth of relationships and how we handle relationships, and when they do end, how do we handle those? So it comes from a Luke Combs song, She Got the Best of Me. And we can all relate to these lyrics. It says, 17, you don't think that much about life, you just live it. Like kerosene dancing around a fire, but you're in it. So you jump right in, ain't afraid to fall, and honestly, you give it all. But she got the best of me. She broke my heart. Now all that's left of me is beating in this guitar. Every night, a different town. She follows me around. So you get what's left of me. Yeah, you get what's left of me, because she got the best of me. I picked myself up off the floor and found something new worth living for. And an old dusty hand-me-down 6-string and a couple chords. I'm getting over her a little more with every song. So y'all sing along, because she got the best of me. She broke my heart. Now all that's left of me is beating in this guitar. Such a good song. But so truthful this reminds me of actually when I really discovered that my marriage was over. I was literally on the floor. Everything that has been built, that I was building on, my relationship, my marriage, was gone. The way I identified myself was gone. A lot of the friends that we had, some of them are gone. And then you have the family that you love. Also, they're shattered. They're shattered for you. Luckily, I didn't have kids involved. But a lot of different things that come into mind when you find out that the relationship that you were in is gone. And so I'm not going to harp on my story, because the main thing I want to talk about is that if you would have asked me that day, and even the months following that, up to a year or two, I literally would have said she got the best of me. But now, honestly, I see that she got the worst of me. And I don't mean it as in, I'm this new person or whatever. Well, I do live life differently. But what she got was all the things that I thought I was. All the things that this world told me I was. All the failures, all the success, all the labels that come with that. I was identifying myself with so much of what the world told me I was. And I don't know why things happen the way they do. But if that wouldn't have happened, I would still probably be living the same life of identifying with the success that I have in this world, with the money I have, the title, my job, how many wins I have as a coach, how many championship rings I have, how many degrees I have, my house, my car, my truck, who I'm friends with, who I know, who I don't know, you name it. And I could say that, honestly, I didn't have a God. I did have a God, but it wasn't the God I know now. It was the God that I followed as far as these idols. I had a lot of them. And looking back on that now, I can see that honestly she didn't get the best of me. She got the worst of me. And yes, it hurt. Yes, I did not choose that. I did not want that. But I know there's people, and I hear it all the time, people that are in relationships that give their all, or they are so identified in their relationship that they're so dependent on the other partner or the other person in identifying themselves and telling them that they're this or that, or they're not this or that, or that they love them or they don't love them if they do this or do that, or successful or not successful. All that can be taken away. And then people finally discover that it isn't what it was all supposed to be, and that honestly, the thing that we should fill in the blank with is what gets the best of you. And let's just be honest. If you're married now, or if you're in a relationship, that's great and it's good. But if that wasn't the case, who would you be? How would you identify yourself? Would you know what to do with your life? How much of your day is filled with that identity that the world has created and labeled you as, not what God has labeled you and told you? So, statistics show, I'm not talking all marriage, but I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of times in our dating now, dating has become just these play marriages, basically. Now, some people do it right, and I'm guilty of this. I've done it wrong before plenty of times. Not trying to condemn or anything, but someone mentioned this before, and it's like a lot of people date these days. They end up living life like they're married, and what you have is a bunch of people that aren't married but live life like they're married, and they go through a breakup, and honestly, their lifestyle is so like together and mixed and combined that it's literally like a divorce when they do break up. And we have so many people that literally have been dating like this that are in their 20s to 30s that are honestly sitting there like they've been divorced 3 to 4 times. And they're trying to find that someone that will complete them. And I've been that person before. Usually, see, the way we see it is a half plus a half equals a whole. But really, a half times a half equals a quarter. So what happens is this person does not fill us. And honestly, what happens is we end up giving some of what we have to the other person, and they give some of what they have, and you don't have complete people. You have more, they're emptier and they're lost. And a lot of times that relationship, if they choose not to go through the work and identifying this, what we call codependency, this relationship addiction of, if they're okay, I'm okay. So what happens if you are codependent and that's the way your relationships are, and you're not okay if they're not okay, then what happens when they're not there? You have an empty void that you try to fill, and a lot of times that fills with addictions. It fills with things that are short-term fixes, but honestly do not get to the root of the problem. And that's where I had to find my true identity, my true self in my relationship with God, in Christ, who I am in Christ, and who He says I am. Not therefore I can enter relationships and I don't have to depend on the other person telling me who I am or affirming me or fulfilling me. But I'm already filled, and then I can share out of that overflow. And hopefully you have another person that can do the same. And if there are times where you're in a relationship and you do have that, but there's a person, one of the people are going through a hard time or a hard season, we can still help fill them out of that overflow. But we're not completely just going in and doing their part, because there is where you have codependency, and that's where it leads to a lot of people that enable them. They think they're helping people, but honestly what they're doing is enabling them to live the lifestyle that they are, and therefore they don't have to have it fixed, and you just can keep going through the cycle. But that's for another episode. But I don't want to get too much into it, but what I want to leave you with is, instead of, in your relationships, if you're going through a breakup, or even if you're in one now, survey it. How are you more this? Are you more codependent on your relationship or your partner, who they say you are? How are you, like, your feelings follow their feelings? Or is it more of a one-sided relationship that you're trying to help them, and it feels like you're giving all and they're not giving anything? Maybe because they don't have anything to give. That's not much of a relationship. But anyways, or does it go more towards the interdependent relationship of both partners are mutually relying on each other, and there's a safe bond that partners can rely and trust on each other, but also maintain their self-identity, who they truly are. It's two individuals that come together and make a whole, whereas a lot of times we want to carry or fulfill someone else when we can't do that. Essentially what that does is leaving us feeling very empty, and the other person not fixing or addressing their problems, and you have a broken relationship that just continues to worsen as it goes. So I hope this doesn't mess up the song for you. I love the song, so I'm not doing it, but I felt a lot of truth in it, and if you do go through a relationship and you break up, or a marriage or whatever, look at it this way. Don't look at it as, we all know that she got the best of me, or he got the best of me, or someone got the best of me. But let's say that God gets the best of you. And then from there, he's never leaving you. So therefore, you're never left empty. And then allow him to find somebody else that is pursuing him. And that's where you find a true relationship that can sustain the storms and the trials and the seasons of drought and the great seasons, and just a relationship that truly gets everything that it is from God, because he is able, we are not. And I want you to know that if you are going through a tough time, you fill in the blank, whatever gets the best of you, maybe it didn't get the best of you, maybe it got the worst of you, and now you had the best of you. And what are you going to do with that? It's going to be a season of a lot of reflection, a lot of digging into yourself as far as why I am the way I am, who am I, working on your relationship with God, hopefully, and really truly finding your worth in him and your confidence in him and your identity in him, so you can be yourself and offer yourself to another person, but do so in a safe manner that will not cause the problems that we have discussed previously. I'm really encouraging you, grieve your loss. A lot of times when there's a broken relationship, there are losses. It is loss. It's a seasonal loss, and you have to understand that some of that can be good. There can be good relationships or people that you're going to lose because of this relationship ending, but trust that honestly, they did not get the best of you. And that next person, or whoever that is, they're not just going to get what's left of you, but they're going to get the best of you, because these other prior relationships, these other prior heartbreaks, these other trials have refined you and made you a better person, because you have done the work. You have sat in the pain. You have identified the hurt, and you have discovered where you were falling short and where you can be. Where you're empty, you can be filled. And I promise you, you will find that your relationships will improve and they will prosper. Thanks. And now, the quest to reflect. This week's quest to reflect is very simple, but very powerful if you are truthful and honest with yourself about what exactly or who exactly gets the best of you. Meaning, who is at the top, or what is at the top. Now, one thing to check out. This week's Check It Out is one of my favorite resources to share with just about anybody, because it helps people in all stages of life. And it really is a great resource for those people that I often talk with that don't have time to maybe go to therapy on a consistent basis, or they don't have the money or resources, or they just don't know where to begin. And what I love about it is that it's available 24/7, and it's month by month. You pay month by month. So if you begin to not use it, or it's not worth your time anymore, you can always end your subscription at any time. And this has really helped me a lot. It is done by Henry Cloud, who is the author of many books, including the one that I often refer to and has helped me tremendously, called Boundaries. And on this website, he has a lot of lessons that include video and questions that allow you to reflect. You're able to go at your own pace. He even includes you on Facebook groups so you can ask questions at any time. It is just it is an amazing resource, and I really believe it is great for people that are just kind of maybe coming up on a season of life that they want to start working on themselves. And I know time is everything in this day and age, and we're often busy, so a lot of people find it very, very convenient because it can be done at any time, at any place where there's internet access. So go to boundaries.me and check it out. And if you do reach their website, you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Best of luck. Thanks. Thank you for listening to the Inspirations Podcast. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to check in again every other Monday for a new episode and new content. Thanks.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.